Beard Boy here, and welcome back to another episode of Fossils in Archaeology. It's been a little bit since I've been in the world, but I'm ready to get down to business. Today, we are going to be building a lab. Mainly because, well, we're going to need a lab if we were going to want to make any of these dinosaurs and prehistoric mobs and creatures and plants and stuff. But that means we need an actual base of operations to do that, and I'm thinking in this series, our base, quote-unquote, will be the lab. I kind of already have what I would consider the perfect space for it as well. As we turn the corner here is perfect land, I would say, for a lab. Now you might be asking, Beard Boy, what lab are you going to put into a hill? Well, what I want to do is have the lab protrude out of the hill, but when you walk inside, let's say if you're going in the door and it's right here, you're going to have an above section where it's going to be visible by visitors. Yes, I'm going to make sure my lab is monetizable. There's no safety concerns with that, right? This will be kind of like the viewing area. There might be another location for the quote-unquote scientists to get in. Down below, it's going to be a multi-storied kind of, let's say like if this is one story, there will be a bottom story, and you'll be able to see the incubators and stuff that the dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures and plants and stuff will be in. That also means, how do I want to do this? I think the best course of action would be to make it look like a lab, which, if I'm thinking that this is supposed to be a smaller park, well, why wouldn't they use cheaper materials to make the lab? So what we're going to use is andesite and smooth stone. I have basically most of what I'm going to need here, as well as a decent amount of coal. The goal here is to, I think, have like a polished andesite and smooth stone together. Basically, I want to create a lab that basically looks like a real lab, where it's not fancy looking, it's not inviting, it's supposed to keep people away, but the joke is that it's at a park and people will be able to see it. Also, this materials is cheap and takes me way easier to get than the volcanic rock that it takes to make the road. You would not believe the time it took to get the volcanic rock for this road. I'm not even joking. This took like a few hours just to get this amount. Okay, I'll stop talking. Basically, we're gonna do a gray brutalist lab that is monetizable, that hopefully won't have any casualties. So I'm gonna get to smelting some stone, because I'm gonna have to do that for a bit, and then I'll meet back with you guys to start working on the lab. So while those were cooking up in the furnace, I wanted to show you guys something. That being the fact that I've updated the pack. We have additional villages now, which is pretty cool. I thought this was going to be a quick, like 5 minutes to find. No, this is taking 30 minutes. I can look all for the name of updating you on the pack situation. But yeah, there's some cool stuff here, because it's villages. This is specifically towns and towers. Well, this is mainly what I wanted to show you, is that this pack was added. I'm going to rate it and get back to building. Now that we're back after that long trip, we're going to start building. Of course it wants to rain when I give an update. So I have a decent bit of the exterior built. It's not perfect yet. I'm pretty sure the top is about the way I'm gonna have it, which, mind you, this side you can't really get to anyway. We might do something with that another time. But for the most part, some of these buildings will just be built into mountains, so it's not gonna be necessary. A lot of really cool details that I like, because I wanted to make sure this lab looked like it was powered. So we got an AC vent here. We got like power lines everywhere, a smoke generator, which could be coming from this lava like pool like tube thing, which is being like in my head, this is what's kind of powering the place. This doesn't work, but I wanted to make it kind of look like a door, like a redstone door that kind of opens. I don't know if I'm ever gonna make this here work. And then we're gonna have the words lab kind of plastered right here somewhere. I don't know if it's gonna be banners, and we are about to get attacked. Nobody. No. I'm really happy with some of these details. I've been wanting to experiment with how I've been making stuff detail-wise, and I think it looks pretty good so far. Not finished yet, but I do kind of like how this is looking now. As you can tell, I've kind of already started it. I'm gonna try and hollow this entire room out. So the plan is that the first about 5 blocks is gonna be where, you know, normal people, visitors, are gonna be coming to see the attraction of the lab. And then after 5 blocks, I'm gonna go on like the 6th, mine out 10 more blocks, and that's going to be the start of the lab. So this part of the lab is what people will see, but they will not see the other portions of the lab, because the lab's basically the base. I do want this to be the monetary spot so people see it, but underground is where we're going to have a decent portion of the lab. It's time to go and hollow this thing out. Okay, now after a very long time of digging, we have the inside of the lab completely mined out. Even up to where the floor is going to be and the walls, but I basically got most of it done. Now, what I'm going to do is try to get the materials to start working on the walls. Because you can tell, I had to mine some of the part there to get there. And it's not going to be the same style as just the stone there. Here we'll have a little bit more detail on what we're doing. I gotta first decide on what we're getting and most likely probably smelt what we're going to use. So, alrighty, I've decided what we're going to build with. Most of the floor is just going to be stone brick. We're going to have little like borders of polished andesite, and the walls are going to be about polished andesite and like a variance of stone. Not like this, like I'm thinking of chiseled stone and stuff like that. But I'm first going to get the floor done because this is going to be like the quickest thing. So here we go. Alrighty, folks, I did a little bit of detailing on this, and now it looks a little bit more brutal, which is kind of what I'm going for here, and I kind of really like how it's looking, especially on the outside here. And the inside's fully done outside of the roof. This still needs to be done. I'll get to it soon, I swear. And I also textured the walls a little bit. This one I kind of left a little bit more left open. I'm not sure if I want to extend over to this way or not with something in the future, or if anything's going to join up to here. I think it looks pretty good for the most part. This doesn't need to be fully, it doesn't have to be fully covered with like andesite, which is what I used to texture the stone here. It doesn't fully have to fill, but I got a decent amount where I'm happy with it. And now it's time, I was about to say time for that, but I'm like, oh wait, the roof. Let me go get more andesite. Alrighty, now I got the materials ready so we can make our analyzer and the culture vat. My original plan was to basically have 7 rows and then go from about like here, enough for some wires, and have them go down to here. That way there's enough of a walkway around this bit. It's been a while, and you can tell because I have new armor. Also, I finished the interior of the lab. So as we enter through the entrance and look down, we finally have a design that I actually really like. I went for, so I originally was going to do the row method. I was not liking that because I wanted to use copper rods as basically connectors for electricity, and they weren't looking that good from a build standpoint. So what I went towards instead was having a supercomputer next to two lava tubes, like we're siphoning lava from out there on the outer one, and that it's heading into here. So you can tell because there's a slight angle going from the wall down. And then whatever's going down here eventually leads to our power connectors here, and then the ones here that will connect everything to the actual lab items themselves, which I like how this looks a lot. I think it turned out really good. Obviously, this is completely for show. Let's be real. All you really need is just the cultivator and an analyzer, but I wanted to make this look like a real lab. You know, even as far as caution everywhere. And then I do have some chests, a crafting table, and a furnace on both sides. And they're kind of mirroring each other, kind of like what's going on here. And I think it looks really nice. And I really like the idea I had here for the lava tubes. I think they turned out pretty well. I used some of that soapstone that we had, and it kind of worked out. And then I restructured this to make it like an old school screenless computer. Like if you look at the 60s or 70s, they have computers like this, where it's mainly just buttons and this, and then like on the inside of it is where all the the data is being stored, and it's converting whatever the lava is to electricity through code that I can't see into the connectors which lead into here. And there's random levers everywhere that don't do anything in buttons. Okay, I'm at least sure that these don't do anything, but we'll just not touch the buttons. But I think this turned out really good. I really like the design of this. And I hope you guys like the design of this, because this episode took a very long time to produce. So if you enjoyed today's episode, consider subscribing, because that helps the channel grow. Consider liking the video, because that tells the algorithm that you guys like the content you're seeing and want to see more. If you really enjoyed this video and want to see more, you could also hype the video. You do have only 3 hypes a week from my knowledge, so if you like the video that much, I would greatly appreciate it. Consider commenting down below what I should build in the series. I've been Beardboy OG, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.